don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Oh, well, hello there, the few of you that are here. It's must be one of those days. Just a Sunday, and yeah, it was pretty warm today, so that shouldn't be the problem. It was a pretty good day, actually sunny, nice outside. It felt good to kind of move around and be doing things outside. But everybody, this actually, I've been ready since like 7 o'clock. I've been on it, pounding, ready to rock and roll. We've had a show up. I had the thumbnail ready to go as early as like 4 o'clock this afternoon, and had everything ready to go about 7. And I've just been sitting here waiting, anxiously awaiting this Sunday night episode. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, if you're here, I don't know what just happened to my monitor here. Is everything still there? Everything's, yeah, it's wild. I don't understand why that does that. Hello there, Charlize, and everybody else. If you're here, welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in and giving us a little bit of your time. Here watching from Grant County, my real fake name. I'm going to have to start taking a stab at what's going on up there and taking a look in your area. Maybe giving a little bit of a look what's going on up there in the old Grant County area. I used to have some friends that lived up in that area, but they moved, and I can't say that I have spent a whole lot of time focused on what's going on up there since they've moved, but we'll take a look and see what we've got going on. Hello, Cheryl. Welcome. What's going on over in Madison County? We got Alva coming from the southern district of our viewing area, from Louisiana. Welcome to all of you, whether you're here and commenting, or welcome to all of you that are hiding, that don't comment, or welcome to all of you that are watching in the future, meaning tomorrow morning and beyond. Welcome. Randolph County from the east here. Chris Bunner, Michael Goodman. Yeah, Charlize is here. I messaged her and I said, hey, this show's for you. We're doing it. I've been looking into this edit ordeal, and so we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about some first of the week stuff, as we always do on Sunday evenings. Got a couple different things. I'm really surprised at how horrible, just absolutely how absolutely horrible our Star Press paper is for a Sunday. There's just nothing in this worth a damn. There is nothing of interest in our newspaper any longer. It's ridiculous. Welcome. And what was I going to say? Oh, hey, as normal, if you could do us a favor, feed the algorithms, hit the like button before or after at some point, just to make sure you smash that like button. Like froze there for a second. And then, of course, if you're here in real time, we want you to comment over here. If you're here in the future watching via replay, we want you to comment down below. And above all else, no matter when you're watching, share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. That helps us out. You know what? I was actually thumbing through a place on social media that I am never at hardly. I'm not going to say where it was exactly, but I was thumbing through a group on social media, and I saw someone that I did not expect, somebody that I probably wouldn't really call a friend, but maybe somebody that's like an acquaintance, had shared the link to several episodes, and it wasn't any specific. So like I knew they weren't like looking for something. It just seemed like they were really helping out. And they like, it was always like 2 or 3 days after a show. So it's not like tonight they would share tonight's show tonight, or tomorrow they would share tonight's show. But like in 3 days, they would share tonight's show. And then the next day from there, they would share tomorrow's show. So it was always like they were 3 days off, but hey, what the hell? It's all the same. So that's fantastic. Hold up at Shell on 29th. Police pursuit, car crash, 4 people in car, 2 airlifted, 2 went to BMH, or 2 went by ambulance. There's been a lot of craziness going on police-wise, which I normally don't cover a whole lot of, but there's been apparently a murder, maybe a double murder in Anderson, and the Muncie SWAT team has been activated in Muncie, like kind of off and on all day today, just kind of like chasing around different areas. I think people said they've been looking for the suspects. I don't know if there was some kind of word that the suspects were coming over here, but I don't know if there's been an update to that or not. I don't know if they've been caught or whatnot, but the last I heard, I guess I'll tell you this is probably pertinent information that people should be aware of, I guess, in case. We'll see if there's any update to this story before I go on scaring everybody in the world. Yeah. Good. That's good news there, Alva. Good that you guys had your election and everything went smooth. Seems like there at least the right things are happening with what's going on down there with all of the constitutional amendments passing. That is a good thing. That is never a bad thing. I'm looking here. I don't even see hell. I don't even see the question about it any longer. So I guess everything's okay. Hey, before we get going in the show, I've got to ask a really stupid question, and maybe this will make some people mad, and I don't want it to make some people mad, but I don't know where it's at. And before I can do or say anything really about it, I guess it would be nice to know. And I know that like everything's over, but there's been this big push for the last week about this big move. The homeless people that have been living in this section where that they were calling Tent City here in Muncie. They were given 10 days to move. Apparently there was a fire that had started. And I ran into somebody when I was shopping the day before Thanksgiving, and she got a hold of me, and she said that she wanted to contact me about this. And for the life of me, I am so sorry I forgot your name. But if you're watching this and it was you that ran into me, or when you watch this, I gave you my number at the store. I text it to you. Please call me. Like, call me tomorrow, or call me on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever at your convenience, because I would like to talk to you about what you were talking to me about. But I don't know how to get back in touch with you. I gave you my number, but I don't know how to get in hold of you, so I would be interested. But I know that it's interesting. It says on this post, and this has been posted all over the social media for all over Muncie, I would kill for the people of Muncie, more people of Muncie, to start using Twitter. I don't understand it. I don't know. I didn't use Twitter for a very long time, so I get it. But once I finally understood how to use it appropriately, to me, it's so much better. It's so much better. And I wish the people of Muncie would use Twitter. It's so much easier. I don't know. To me, I love it much better than Facebook, but I don't know. I wish local people. It seems like nobody really in Indiana uses it. But this tent city thing, it says Muncie's moving Muncie's largest tent city. No one came today but the Shepherd's Heart and Hands public charity. We did what we could with such an emotional day from the entire camp having to leave their home of 2 years. These people have been living there. Where what I'm trying to ask is, if any of you watching this, if you know where is this tent city, where was it located? That's what I'm trying to understand. I know that there are a couple of encampments where people are living, but I don't know which one of those was this. So I'm trying to get in my mind, and none of the posts that I see are telling me where it is. This thing says moving tent city started today. As soon as we got there for our meeting of the warming center, our team of volunteers came, but no one from any other organization came. It says we've seen posts about how people from the YWCA, how people from the Open Door Christian Ministries and the Mission were going to come help with the relocation of the camp, but nobody came. Nobody. No one from the YWCA, Open Door Christian Ministries, or the Mission was there to help. I find that to be interesting. Specifically that they had posted, apparently, that they were going to be there. So I don't know if they got moved in time or what. I don't know. This is very interesting. Okay, interesting. So, of course, as normal, we get Belinda Munson says, my heart goes out to you. I'm sorry you didn't receive the help you were hoping for today. Other events like Secret Santa and Heroes Helpers were also happening, but you're filling a very huge need in the community and the work you're doing. And then the Joseph Romero said, I saw a post that the city put out about these organizations saying that they were relocating the camp, But that is not true. The Post never mentions that. The Shepherds, Hearts, and Hands is your boots on the ground organization and helping the city of Muncie. I was at the city council meeting asking for help with securing land so we can start the process of building places for unhoused residents to call home while waiting on housing to come available. And then what's interesting to me is some of the Dan addicts immediately jump on telling this person that they're getting off to a bad start in the city. You showed up out of nowhere. And people are tearing this guy down. No one promised you anything. I agree. He's been at meetings, but he showed up in town out of nowhere. Now he's calling organizations out, and that is not a good look. Listen, I don't know this Joseph Romero. I don't know if he's a good guy. I don't know if he's a bad guy. I don't know if he's really doing this for the right reason or doing this for the wrong reason. I don't know what the wrong reason is if you're helping somebody. I mean, I guess it could be for publicity or whatever. But it's, I don't know anything about him. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt like I would anybody. But I think it's funny that some of the same people, including Shireen Wagley, who works for the city of Muncie, is on here kind of, throwing stones. And so I think it's just, and then they want to talk about the city of Muncie looking bad. What's funny to me is Dan Ridenauer says, I don't want to allow comments on the city of Muncie's main Facebook page because the citizens of Muncie make Muncie look bad to businesses and economic prospects, economic development prospects that we could be having, yada, yada, yada. And so he says that it's the citizens calling out the government that makes the Muncie look bad. And these then other places don't want to come to Muncie. But it's funny to me that he never says anything about, says anything about his employees getting on and either commenting as the city of Muncie negatively or commenting as themselves during the day when they're working. Shireen has had this habit for the 5 years that Ridenauer has been in office of commenting just out of control things. And that's not even her place anymore. I remember she used to drive Michelle Owen crazy because Michelle Owen was the communications director. And here you would have Michelle Owen putting on statements as either Michelle Owen or the city of Muncie being controlled by Michelle Owen. And then you would have either Shireen Wagley as her name, or sometimes Shireen would get on as the city of Muncie as well and comment. And so sometimes you would have two very different statements from the city of Muncie, one of them from the communications director and the other from, Mayor Ridenauer's head sycophant. And it was just, that's crazy. To me, that makes Muncie look worse than the citizens doing their job. I don't know. Absolutely crazy. So I don't know, DC Swamp Drainer, what you're asking. If you're asking what Facebook page it is when I'm talking about the city of Muncie thing, obviously I'm talking about the city of Muncie's Facebook page, then vice versa with the city of Muncie communications page. But if you're talking about the page where I was reading on about the homeless situation, I am reading directly from the Facebook post that is under the it's all over. It's all over. It's on all of the Delaware County groups, but this one I was specifically reading was on Delaware County News and Updates, and it was a post about like 3 scrolls down was a post by that Joseph Romero. I guess it doesn't say what time he made it. What is this? He made it on Saturday, December 7th at 21:40. So, and at 9:40 he made this post, and then that's where you will see the other comments made by City of Muncie officials or employees, which is real strange, very strange. All right, hey, so this show tonight, we had a question the other day by somebody who clearly knows. I think I would assume that Charlize basically knows the answer to this, but like we say of good elected officials, asking the question so that people hear the answer is beneficial to everyone. And it doesn't necessarily mean the person asking the question doesn't know the answer. It means it's wanting a teaching moment for everyone. And I think that there is a lot of good value in that. So the other day, not the other day we were talking about it, but often on here, we talk about the actions of our government using what's called edit money or edit funds. And people oftentimes refer to that as the mayor's slush fund, or sometimes you'll hear it as the you'll hear it as the commissioner's slush fund, or I guess if you're talking about like the town of Yorktown, it would be the town board's slush fund. Although there it's a little bit different, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why that's a little bit different in a moment. When a town board is doing it, it's a little bit different in my opinion. And so basically what happens is, ooh, this is weird. Wait a minute. Now this is pause. We'll come back to this edit talk. We will come back to this edit talk. And listen, I want to be very clear. I am a torn individual on this whole homeless the discussion. Obviously there is a need to help citizens, all citizens. There's definitely a need to, all citizens, specifically in time of need when it's crazy cold as it has been. Citizens that are dealing with mental health situation, veterans who come back that have maybe mental health or physical issues that have led them to being homeless. And there is a situation there of, what needs to happen. Is it better for private organizations to help, the governments to help? There's a balancing act there that needs to be done. Okay. However, what I don't think is good, and I will question, and listen, I'm going to be really honest. Some of the question again about, and this isn't my area of expertise, so I'm just going to be really honest. I'm going to tell you from my frame of reference. I will admit that when this Joseph Romero shows up, I remember when he first showed up to a city council meeting, the very first thing he does is show up and he's like, hey, I'm not from here. I'm not somebody that says just because you're not born here doesn't mean you can't be here now and you can't help. I don't believe that. I believe that somebody could be born on Mars, and if they want to come here and help, have at it. You know what I mean? That has been levied against me in various communities, so I don't do that to people. You do have to look at somebody and take, maybe their references and look at, what they've done and what they're trying to do and see, in today's world, does the people coming forward, do they have pure heart in what they're trying to do? Are they really trying to do something good? Is this a con game? I mean, listen, the city of Muncie, I don't know if there's like a bathroom stall somewhere where someone's written, the name of our city and the zip code or what. But it does seem like we bring in a lot of people that are wanting to kind of con us and con the city. I think everybody says that they realize that Ridenhour can be taken really easily, and he's willing to throw money at anything. And we've had a lot of people that come here and try to take advantage. So, you do have to be mindful. And when Romero showed up and just out of the blue and was like, "Hey, I want to help and I want people to donate money and I, need this and this and this." I could see people being a little leery, but if he is doing the right thing and people have made contact, I think it's important that people in the city at least make contact with him. All 9 of the city councilors should have contacted him. I think someone in the mayor's office ought to reach out to him and have a conversation and vet him and decide if this is really a thing or not. Because if this is really a person that's wanting to help, then he should be seen as someone that's willing to help, and they should be able to use that. Okay. That's exactly correct, Thor. 100%. That's a very good. That is very, very, very good. That makes, yeah, absolutely. Here's my issue, though. So I do know for a fact that he has been to meetings. What I don't know and what I haven't heard is I have not heard about any of the elected officials reaching out to him and saying, "Hey, how can we help?" or we would like to talk with you. I don't know if any have done that or not. I will reach out to a couple of them and find out. I will also try to reach out to Mr. Romero and find out, for my own deal, what my thought of him is. I will tell you, though, it's interesting to me because Jackie shared a link. And before we get into the edit, because I did bring this up, I do want to cover this just briefly in fairness to him and for the battle that was going on there, because this could be a problem. So here is Facebook. I know it's going to be a little difficult for you guys to see, but I'll walk you through it and let you know what's here, and then you guys can go check this out for yourself. So here's a post on the City of Muncie's communications page. It was posted on Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. So this was 2 days after the City of Muncie council meeting, which was on Monday, December 2nd. And this post is Christian Ministries, Muncie Mission, YWCA Central Indiana. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Then there's a post over here on the side that says the following. The City of Muncie would like to provide an update on a situation regarding a homeless area in our community. Relocating homeless residents is something we do not take lightly, and we understand the difficulty this situation presents. Unfortunately, due to concerns from the leaseholder, we find ourselves with no other choice at this time. The residents have been given a timeline that reflects the deadline the city has been given by the leaseholder. We are working closely with the local organizations and partners to ensure the safe and dignified relocation of each individual, and we want to thank them for all of their efforts. The Muncie Mission, Christian Ministries, and the YWCA of Muncie have led the way And we have confirmed with these organizations that each individual facing relocation is eligible to shelter at one of these 3 shelters. Now, listen to this. This is very important. It says the city of Muncie Okay. Now, I was reading the comments there. So this says the city of Muncie says that the Muncie Mission Christian Ministries and the YWCA of Muncie have confirmed that the individuals facing relocation are all eligible to shelter at one of these 3 shelters. That's interesting, okay? Because I did not know that. That was my concern, because a lot of these places only take men or only take women, or so it's kind of, if you're dealing with a situation where you've got a family, obviously rather than freezing to death, I would say, okay, dad's going to go here for a night and mom and daughter go here for a night, whatever. That would be better than freezing to death. Maybe, it's just my interpretation of what I would do. But obviously you'd want to keep the family together at all costs, if you can. But that was one of my concerns. So that's interesting in seeing this. Now this goes on. Thank you to the Muncie community, the Muncie Mission Christian Ministries, and the YWCA of Muncie for your compassion and dedication to helping these in need. All right. Now, one thing there, they don't mention anything about the new norm. I don't know if the new norm has helped at all, but I've been told that they've been involved, whatever. Also the shepherd's hearts and hands or whatever. Okay. So they have posted this. Now, the thing that makes this interesting is going back. If you go back to the post that I was reading from originally, that says, moving Muncie's largest tent city. No one came today but the Shepherd's Hearts and Hands public charity. We did what we could with such an emotional day from the entire camp, having to leave their home of 2 years. I asked Jake Cool of the Ark in Muncie to help out tomorrow and give our blessing to showing them the work that working together is what we must do to help this camp. He assured me a post would go up to invite people to help tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of Moving Tent City. Moving Tent City started today, and as soon as we got there for our meeting at the warming center, our team of volunteers came, but no one from any other organization came. We've seen posts of how the YWCA, Open Door Christian Ministries, and the mission was going to help with relocation of the camp, but no one came. Maybe they will be at the camp. Maybe they will be at the camp. Maybe they will be at the camp already, but no one was there. This weekend is the last available time for them to move all they own. So this is interesting. My question is there something going on there? Okay. Is there something going on there that there was something that they did that this person does not know about? Did they not help out? If they didn't help out, why are they being thanked for helping out? That would be concerning. So I'll reach out to the communications director tomorrow morning and find out what the situation is there, because that would be concerning. I would be extremely concerned if this was going on. It was just last year that we had the same issue with the Muncie Inn, and it seemed like everybody and their brother jumped in to help that. Now, this seems a little bit different, and, I'd be interested to know why that's going on. And that's a good question, Kid Rock. Who is paying for the storage unit bill to store the stolen, all the bikes? That's a very good question. Yeah, I've just got a lot of questions about what's going on here. So I'll look into this from just the aspect of finding out what exactly is the city's involvement in this, and see what's going on, because I know that I know there are organizations in Muncie that do help, and they do a lot. They do as much as they can, but this seems kind of like another situation where communication seems to be an issue. Why do they separate American families? That's a good question. I don't know why, if they're going to set up some kind of homeless camp, especially or homeless organization, why there's not some kind of organization that would be built for families. Like, that's so strange. It seems like I get the need for places that would be men's facility only and women's facility only. And I understand that you would have to be careful of, folks that would be maybe on registries, sexual registries and things like that. So I understand the need for separation, but we should have a place for families to go, so there does not have to be a separation, specifically if you're citizens of the city specifically. Okay, so on from there, that's it with that. I'll look into that and see what I can find out, and we'll go from there. Okay, so now back to this edit thing. We routinely talk about edit here on the show. Many different shows, many topics on various shows focus on edit. I mean, it seems like for as much as the city of Muncie's budget is, if you were to listen to just months worth of meetings, it would seem like 90% of Muncie's budget is all just put in edit, and everything is funded out of edit. I mean, seriously, like anytime talking to random people, my question is, I would be interested to see if anybody out there in the comments that watch this that do not know. Does anyone know how much? Now, if you know specifically because you've listened, don't answer. But if you are just watching and you don't know, I would be interested to know if you have a guess at how much money yearly is in, just for example, say the city of Muncie's edit fund, like the total amount. So if you want to guess an amount, if you have a guess, because I've talked to people who before have said, oh, there has to be, I guess I don't want to say an amount until any of you guess, because I don't want to spoil it. So the reason it's like that is because every single thing that comes up, it's Dan's going to pay this out of edit. Oh, we're going to fund these employees out of edit. Oh, we're going to make these employee contract, or these contract employees, they're going to come work for the city out of edit. Oh, we're going to do this project here. We're going to do it out of edit. Well, we're going to pay for these utilities for this project out of edit. And I could definitely see why. See, Alva says millions. Now, when you say millions, is that like 2 millions? Is that 10 millions? Is that 20 million? Is that 200 million? So basically, for the last couple of years, we've had right around about $4 million in edit. $11 million, DC Swamp Drainer says. That's it seems like that. I mean, you're not crazy for thinking that amount of money, because it seems like that. It's really crazy because of that. Now, before we get started, I guess here, I just want to say, so the edit fund, first off, edit. People's like, what's edit? EDIT stands for Economic Development income tax. Okay. So that's what the quote unquote edit fund is. The edit stands for Economic Development Income Tax. And basically it's an income tax paid by individuals on your wages, on our wages. The rate varies by county, but it's typically about 25% of adjusted gross personal income. Edit funds are shared among local government units in all 92 counties. Now, what that means is it's divided out. So it's supposed to be divided by the county. And then at the county level, they do one of two things. And there's a couple of different things that happen. They divide it out and give it to each of the cities. If there are counties where there are multiple cities or multiple towns, they get the money. The county gets their fund. Yorktown gets theirs. Daleville gets theirs. Muncie get theirs. Albany, like that. There are some counties and some towns and cities or communities that they have as a county-wide body of government, meaning the county has agreed to this, the towns have all agreed to this, that they just pool their money all together. And what they do then is they have a county-wide edit board. Now, I almost think that would be a better way to go about this. And then you break it down saying, okay, well, this is the percentage that you would get. So we'll do this. But it's kind of like having a city county drug task force. So you have a drug task force that is made up of city officers, county officers, and then an officer or two from each of the small towns, maybe the state police, maybe you've got a federal guy on there too. And basically, they don't just do drug work in the city or in the county or in a small town. They do it county-wide, and all of the officers from all of the different places all work as one unit all over the county. That's how you would do this, where you would have a county elected board. Like, let me tell you specifically, Wayne County does it like that. And to me, did I get rid of that? Oh, right here it is. Considering its name, there ought to be restrictions on what edit tax can go for. Well, we'll get to that in a second, because I agree. There used to be, and we'll talk about that. So basically, in Wayne County, which is the county down, it's under Randolph County. It's to the southeast of Delaware County. They have a situation where they have a county-wide economic development committee, and it is comprised of all of the towns in Wayne County, the city of Richmond, and the county government, and they all contribute to it. And the decisions to participate is voluntary. Those who choose to participate contribute half. And this is interesting. They contribute half of their edit proceeds on a yearly basis. So that's pretty interesting. So each area gets half of their edit to do whatever they want with, but half of the edit goes into this county-wide lump. And what they do then, it's organized like this. The EDC has 4 staff members, including a president. The EDC, this is in Wayne County, has a volunteer board of directors who are appointed by the following entities. Wayne County Commissioners appoint 2 members. The Wayne County Council appoints a member. The mayor of Richmond appoints a member. the Richmond City Council appoints a member, and then each one of the small towns each appoint one member, and then the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce appoints 3 members. And so then that board of entities that are that board of people that are made up of all of those things then help. It's very similar to our redevelopment commission board in the city, our MRC, or the DR Delaware County Redevelopment Commission, the DRDC board, whatever it is. And then they take recommendations of how to use the money there. Now, those individual, like Richmond and Cambridge City and Hagerstown, they all have half of their own edit money anyways. Now, then that gets into how can edit money be spent? What can edit money be spent on? Well, edit money was originally, like Charlie said, considering its name, Economic Development Income Tax Fund, that's supposed to be a way for revenue to be shared among the 92 counties in Indiana. Edit funds were initially used for economic development projects or public capital projects. However, over the years, the restrictions have been watered down on edit, so much so that the edit fund can basically be used for any quote-unquote lawful purpose. The idea is that almost anything can be determined to be for the purpose of betterment of the local economy or for an economic development or public capital project. Now, obviously, we understand what a public capital project is. When they raise funds for that, they're raising funds to, they can put that for, they can say that building the YMCA where they're building that is a public capital project, or making the fire department on Martin Luther King Broadway and Highland, is a capital, public capital project. And so edit money could be utilized there. And people's like, well, wait a minute. How is building a fire department, how's that economic development? Well, everybody's aware that when businesses look at relocating to communities, one of the first things they do, specifically if it's a big corporation, is they start taking the newspaper, they start looking at what goes on 6 months or a year beforehand, and they start looking at the number of calls for service for police and fire, and they look at how long it takes the fire department to get to businesses for business alarms. They look at how long it takes the fire department to get to calls for service for homes, because if they have people who are going to move there, they want to know their people are safe and the people are going to be safe, in their neighborhoods. And they look at EMS and they look at crime and they look at all those things. So building a new fire station in a location that hasn't otherwise had one, or increasing the number of officers or things like that, those are things that businesses look at and say, well, they're willing to spend in the city. And so I don't have a problem using edit money on projects like a fire station or something like that. I don't have a problem like that. What I tend to have a problem with is when you have, I'll come back to that. Put a pin in that. When you don't have a county or city or towns that combined, and you have everybody out here doing their own edit things, you have a situation where, and this is where the problem is, this is where people's problem lies. Many people have issues with the fact that the funds of how the funds are used and who has the say so. That's really kind of the issue there. The fact that the mayor of a city, okay, so if you're talking about we only have one first class city in Indiana, and that's Indianapolis. Every other city in the state of Indiana is either a second class city. Muncie is a second class city. I didn't say it. The Indiana General Assembly did. I'll agree with them. We're a second class city. It's better than Winchester. They're a third class. And then you've got Anderson. That's a no class. Ho! Drum roll, please. Anderson is a second class city too. Sorry about that, my Anderson people. So Muncie, Anderson, Richmond are cities that have second class designation. I think Newcastle might be on the very, very, very tail end, small end of a second class city. I think they are. Winchester's a third class city. Union City is a third class city.
Newcastle's third class.
I
just looked it up.
All right. Well, there we go. Okay, that's strange. That's strange. So, well, they've done what I thought Winchester should do. I think Winchester should have. I'll come back to that too. Put a pin in that. There's those two things I got to come back to. So, in second class cities, or third class cities, edit is something. In both of them, it doesn't really matter. So, in all other cities, in every city in Indiana that doesn't have some kind of agreement for the whole county, so in cities like Muncie and Anderson and Winchester, I think Newcastle's the same way. Their edit money is decided by one person, and that one person is the mayor. If you're a county, if you're talking about Madison County, or you're talking about Delaware County, or you're talking about Randolph County, the body or the government, the persons that decide how edit is spent is the county commissioners. So people say, well, that's 3 people. The thing is, it means only 2 people decide, because one person could be a no vote. So all it takes to spend edit money is 2 commissioners. So that's just one more person than the mayor. People have problems with there being such little input, such little oversight in how this money is spent, that in the city, only the mayor decides. In the county, you've got 2 votes. One person could vote no, but as long as 2 people vote yes, that's how it's going to be spent. In a town like Yorktown or whatnot, it's a little bit better. So, for example, the town of Daleville has 5 board members. Okay, so what does that mean there? Well, it means at least 3 people. As long as 3 people vote yes, then they can decide how their edit money is spent. So that's, at least it's 3 people, but it's still only 3 people. You know, here's the problem I'm okay with on the county, or on the towns. I mean, every other vote they have is 3 people. So there's no really other way to decide that, unless the town would create like an edit board where they would have a larger amount of people that the town board could appoint. So that's a way you could deal with that. But all of these other places, the mayor gets to decide. He's one person. That means if you have someone that's really questionable, he's always going to be questioned on everything he does with the edit money. And that is something that I have. That's one of the topics I said I'd come back to. I have an issue with the fact that this money can be spent with very little to no oversight. I mean, we can oversight. They'll tell us. We find out about it. I don't know of a place that's been like, no, I'm not going to tell you, because they can't. They have to tell you. You will eventually find out. They just don't care. Dan, it does not matter, because we cannot like it. I cannot like how Dan is spending edit money on Dustin Clark, and he doesn't care. All I'm going to do is bitch about it. All I'm going to do is gripe about it. Now, if he spends all $4 million on stupid projects that he gets, then, well, Bilberry's going to bitch. A handful of people are going to bitch, but it is what it is. There's no oversight in that. I really don't understand how they feel okay with some of the things. Listen, here's how he's going to spin it for Dustin. Dan is going to say, well, Dustin does our grants. He's our grant writer. And so I might pay him. Look, we still don't have any idea how much he's getting paid. You cannot, so far it's not out there. As a contract employee, I will tell you, so the other day, Kate, you and I were looking up the payroll, and I reached out to the controller, Craig Wright, and he said that we could do one of two things for payroll. If we wanted to find out payroll of any given person, we could go look at the salary ordinance, which would tell us a range. They get paid this at the bottom and this at the top. Or if we wanted an exact figure on an exact person, because the salary ordinance isn't going to tell you Matt Wegley is getting paid X amount of dollars. It's going to say the deputy controller position can be paid between this and this. Now it says the deputy controller is getting paid $0. But
so that's basically useless as tits on a bowl.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
The next thing we would need to do, if we want to know a specific person, how much does police officer John Doe make? How much did Bob Jesse make before he got fired for whipping it out in a car? Maybe we'll talk about that later on. Maybe we won't. How much did he get paid? We have to do what's called a record request. Ding, 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 ding. And we can record request what this person, we can't find out what they're currently being paid. All we can find out is what they were paid in the last pay period or in the last 5 pay periods. And that we can request that and get that answer in however many weeks they decide to give it to us. And so that's how we could find out exactly. So if we wanted to find out, for example, how much the city of Muncie has paid Dustin Clark since he resigned from PCR, Prairie Creek Reservoir, we could issue a record request and ask that. So what I'm going to do is...
There is no way to find out what salaries are monthly.
Well...
And what is paid monthly without doing a record request.
Well...
So we can look up every other thing that they write a check for.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't look up the checks that they write for salaries?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that nuts?
It's fucking stupid.
I don't know. It's really strange to me because I'm almost positive that I remember being able to do that at some point. Now, the other the other thing to that is we could obviously do what you're talking about for the yearly salary if we looked on Gateway, but it all has to be a year ago. Everything we would look up would not be current. Everything we would be looking up would be last year. So the most recent thing we could look up would be 2023. In a couple of months, we would be able to look up 2024. So that's the ignorant answer to that. Very stupid. Michael Goodman asked who pulled the liquor license from the transaction at Workman's Bar. So that was the Workman's Bar deal before it started being the city nonsense. That was Belinda Munson and Dustin Clark. And it was in the deal. It was part of the deal, but Belinda Munson, I'll put it to you this way. I don't know if Dustin still has a stake in that. One of two things is going on with the current holder of that liquor license is Belinda Munson, 100% absolutely for sure. And she either owns all of it or she owns a portion of it, and Dustin Clark owns a portion of it. And
wasn't there one more person involved in that thing?
Maybe so, like the lady that worked at the bank. The lady that worked at the bank, maybe. Is there a way that we can find that out by looking? Because I know for a while they were having to go before the alcohol something in Delaware County, because it was American Bar is what they were called. So I think that it probably is still all three of them, because it wasn't under just one of their names. It was American Bar, because that was the name of their thing. So that's what that was. And they stand to be able to get a lot of money. Well, I'll put it to you this way. I don't know necessarily, Michael, if it's 150,000. It would have been at one point. I will tell you, they stand to gain a lot more money than what they made.
Okay, because so the people listed on that, I'm sorry, are Cindy Buchanan.
Yep, Cindy Buchanan.
Belinda Munson and Dustin Clark.
Okay.
That's who's listed as governing persons
of the
American Bar Company. Yes.
Okay. And then what would be the Muncie, Delaware County Alcohol Board? Let's see what this is called. This would be the Delaware County. Okay. The OABCC, the Delaware County Alcoholic Beverage Control Commissioner. So let's find out. Ooh.
Do you need me still, or?
No. If maybe you could Google that and see if maybe you could help me find that.
What is it?
I don't really know. I know that. Okay, wait a minute. So look up Delaware. Look up Delaware. Is this Delaware County? No, that's the state of Delaware. That's not going to do us.
No.
Okay, so try to find something like about the Muncie, Delaware County alcohol something. I don't know what I don't know what it is. It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, damn it. It's on the tip of my tongue. We've looked it up on here before. It's at the county level because it's not at the state, I know, but it's like who decides on what goes on with a liquor license.
Oh, I'm looking.
Liquor license board. And I know that the various I know that the
Good Lord.
alcohol, Delaware County, Indiana, Alcoholic Beverage Commission.
Oh my God.
This might be it. Indiana Alcohol and Tobacco Commission. Oh man, I don't think so. Man, I'm telling you. No, not the ATF. To hell with the ATF.
Oh, good Lord.
All right, I think. Man, I can almost see it's got to be the ATC, and I can almost see the person who sent me. It's got to be the ATC, and I can see the person, almost see the person who sent me the information because someone sent me way back when they were dealing
all
with.
I'm finding is how to buy or sell a liquor license, not how to look up who holds one.
When did that all happen?
Oh, shit. Well, we got to look up Worksman's Bar.
Archived. So it happened in 2023 because it was the re-election. It was the re-election thing. When did they sell it?
Do you remember the address, Workman's?
810.
Sorry. I'm getting there. Indiana, Delaware. Okay. What's the address?
810. Oh, 8th Street. 809.
809?
Yeah.
Okay. 809.
809. It's 809 West 8th Street.
Oh, for God's sakes. Eighth. for goodness sakes.
ATC commission meetings. American Bar Corp.
There we go. So City of Muncie, blah, 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 blah. So American Bar bought it in September of 2021.
Okay.
And then in December of 2021, it was ECIBG.
Yeah. Okay, in 21, that helps.
Yeah, in 21.
All right,
And then in May of 23, it went to DAC. And then June 24 to the city.
Okay, so you know what I'll do? I won't kill any more time with this. I'll go back and watch. I know what episode it was on. I'll go back and watch it and find out what episode it was. And find out, because I know that we looked over the minutes of the meeting when they were supposed to go, and it was because they were going to talk about, they wanted to know, I think what they were wanting to do, I'll be honest, I think what they were wanting to do was, she was wanting to get it to see if they could somehow sell it and put it downtown in like where they're doing this Dora thing in Muncie, the outside downtown outside refreshment bullshit, and wanted to make it, part of the downtown riverfront deal. And I think that's the only way she'd be able to make the maximum amount of money on it. Well, I shouldn't say just she, because Dustin's involved too. But yeah, so that's that.
Done with me now?
Yeah. Thank you very much. So sorry, I just don't like giving up on something. That's not my nature. All right, I'll look it up later. It just keeps pulling me back in. Hell, you guys just sit and watch me look this up for the next 2 hours. No. So that even got me off topic. Yeah, it's shit like that. But the problem is what it's going to take. You could have. The thing is, I don't know if it would take the Indiana General Assembly changing something, or I don't know if the council could put something in place where they say all edit money needs to go through blank. Now, I mean, obviously the rule is, and somebody just said this the other day to somebody during a meeting, and I don't know who said it. It makes me think that Dale Basham said it, maybe when Andrew Dale was up at the podium, and he was like, remind me that, no, I don't know who it was. Someone brought up the fact that, edit money can be spent as long as it, it's in line with the yearly plan set aside for capital projects. But again, the mayor has such a wide range of things that he can say falls under improving Muncie's economic development, the economic health of the city, and hiring Dustin Clark, at $125 an hour. And listen, I'm going to say this. I want to be really clear for the mayor if he doesn't like this, or for the mayor's people, for Shireen Wagley if she doesn't like me saying this, or for Dustin Clark himself if he doesn't like me saying this. Listen, if you don't like me saying that Dustin Clark's getting $125 an hour for 40 hours a week to work at the city of Muncie, then provide me with a damn contract that says otherwise. Because up until and unless you do, all that I can do is go off of the former contract, the only contract that I have, which is this contract in front of me that says this agreement is made by and between the City of Muncie and Greenlight Resources LLC. Greenlight is Greenlight as follows. Greenlight will provide general contractor and consultation services for the City of Muncie and mayor initiatives, including but not limited to grant writing services, including administration if awarded, strategic planning, redevelopment consultation, project oversight as needed, other duties as assigned by the city. Hourly rate will be $125 per hour. City will provide office space, internet, other essentials to complete tasks, including access to copier to Greenlight personnel upon advance notice of 24 hours. This agreement for service begins on 11/21/23 and expires on 12/31/27. Any modification to this agreement for the services must be made in writing and signed by all parties. This agreement for services may be terminated by either party only upon 90-day notice, written notice delivered to the other party. Now, listen, I understand that it is signed by Dan Ridenauer and Morgan Warden, and people might be like, well, wait, what are you that's not Dustin Clark. And to that I say, you're an idiot. That's stupid. You know better than that, because it is to Dustin Clark, because we've proven on this we've proven on this program many times that Morgan Warden and Dustin Clark are the same person. I mean, I know they're not the same person, but that you know what I mean. We've done all of that. So we know that when you pull this up and you look at Greenlight Resources and you do it in such a way that the Indiana Secretary of State's website, hey, Diego, quit money laundering and get your website working, bro. Your website is trash. Okay. And so, okay, yeah, right here like this. So all I've got to do is do this and show you right here that Greenlight Resources, okay, is a business here, right there. All right. And its principal office address came back to 2432 South Hoyt. Okay. And if we look up that address right there, we look up 2432 South Hoyt. Hey, as my correspondent on the ground in South Hoyt, Stumblefoot, whose address is 2432 South Hoyt? While I'm looking this up, you're just since you're the correspondent on the ground there, who does that address belong to, sir? Oh, get out of here. He says he can't recall at the moment. It's Dustin Clark. Because what happens is, if we look this up and I show you this, then obviously we see here that this is that address, 2432 South Hoyt, which comes back to Harold McCullough right here. Harold and Karen McCullough. This is the address that we were looking at there on the Secretary of State's thing. And if we go to my case and then we type in Clark, Dustin, we go down until oh my God, what's that guy's middle initial?
Isn't it L?
Is it
Dustin L. Clark?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Yep. Okay. That cuts us down by just a little bit there. That's helpful. I can do it like this. Civil. Because Dustin Clark just recently threw out Dustin Clark just recently threw out the people who were going to move there. Throughout the people, he sued the people because they weren't paying. They were his landlords. Well, I'm not getting it to show up. Anyways, we've looked at it again before. We've seen it on the show plenty of times. The bottom line is the number one thing. I don't even have to show you all of that. I can show you the pictures where Dustin Clark himself signed the checks that went to Greenlight Resources. That's the bottom line. I'll do that here now. That way you can see. Yeah, right here they go. Sent. Messenger. Oh. Yeah, right here. There we go. There's Dustin Clark signature. There's a check to Greenlight Resources. Another check to Greenlight Resources. Another check to Greenlight Resources. All these checks to Greenlight Resources. And here's Dustin Clark endorsing these. So the bottom line is, clear as day, he's Greenlight Resources. So if they don't want me saying that he's getting paid $125 an hour, then they need to cough up the new contract showing that he's not getting paid that. And I've done everything that I can do. I've sent out a records request. Upon sending out the record request, I was told by the person that does the record request that there are no I was told that there are no contracts for Dustin. And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? There has to be. If there's not a contract for Dustin Clark and he's getting paid, then that is a serious legal issue for the city. So then I was told, well, they're going off the old contract. Okay, well, I said, what do you mean the old contract? You mean the Greenlight Resources contract? And I was told yes. All right. So then I heard that Dan didn't like me saying that. Okay. So I reached out to Dan on Tuesday of last week. And I texted him. And I said, oh, wrong mouse. I text Dan the following text message right here. Dan Ridenauer. I said, is there a signed contract between the city and Dustin? There would have to be a contract, correct? I've been attempting to request this since I broke the news about it. Could you assist with this? Thank you in advance. So here this is. So, Dan or Amber, either one, is going to have to send me this, the contract, or else tell me, nope, I can't send you the contract, or I can, but you've already got it. It's the Greenlight Resources.
Here's the problem with that, though.
Yeah.
The problem with this contract is that his signature is not on it.
That's correct. But if their contract, if their contract is to do work with the people from Greenlight Resources, and if he works for Greenlight Resources, he would be covered. That would be okay. It's the same thing as the city having contract for
Just
legal
shady
services.
shit.
It is absolutely. But I mean, he would be protected because it would be like the city having, they don't have all of the city attorneys sign off. They have the main attorney, Mark. I always forget his last name. Mark signs off on it. And for example, Mark wasn't doing the work the other day. Aubrey Christ was. Well, that doesn't cause them any legal issue because she works for the firm that does the contract work, the legal work. So they're covered. I mean, it's okay. But the bottom line is, yeah, it's shady. It's shady as hell. It's definitely a problem. And so that then brings us back to the edit issue. This is what we're paying money for. Okay. Now, someone said the other day that the, it might have been Catherine that said the Indiana State Board of Accounts findings were out. And I can't remember if I looked for Muncie's or not. But that would definitely be interesting because I can't wait to see what comes of their next. I called them and left a message. I'm hope to be hearing back from someone really, really, really soon because well, I hope to be hearing back from them because I have a couple of questions that they need to answer for. Let's see. Okay. So let's see if this is, man, I don't know if this is the one I already have. It very well could be. It doesn't look like their new one is out yet. Well, that sucks. So it looks like it looks like it won't be out. That sucks. It looks like it won't be out until September of next year. That sucks. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Was this? Give me just 1 second here. I'm looking back through just to make sure. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the one that I had already looked through. I don't believe that the one will be out. The one that I'm really waiting to look for. I believe will be out next year. That sucks. Well, just double checking here really quickly. Yeah. Oh well. That is what it is. It's like waiting for a really good movie to come out that you think will be wonderful, and you're just waiting, but you gotta. Kate and I were talking about that the other night. That sucks sometimes, but it is what it is. Yeah. Oh well. All right. So those are the issues, and that's the issue with edit. And I don't care if you're in Anderson or if you're in. It doesn't matter if it's Newcastle. I know Newcastle has had some issues. Just in people wondering what's going on here and there with various monies, and I know that edit money is always the biggest problem. And the thing I would tell everybody is start reaching out to your counselors. It does not harm you to email them. It does not harm them to get emails from you. And I will tell you for the record, all of the Delaware, or all of the Muncie city councilors, their emails are all appear to be working now. So that's good news. And that's good. Delaware County, I know that just because they don't always respond to me, I do know that they do respond. So you can always do that. As far as Madison County, I cannot tell you what goes on there. Anderson, I don't know if they respond or not. I know there have been times that I've heard people say that the Anderson City Council responds. There are other times I hear that they say they don't. Madison County, they suck. I know that Winchester, it's touch and go. I know that the people in Newcastle are pretty responsive. So are the people in Henry County. So, my number one thing would be reaching out to them and asking from their perspective what they think can be done to put more controls on edit. Is there a way the council can come up with an ordinance or put something together that can control a little bit more what happens with edit? Because if you don't see that there's an issue with edit, then that means you're not looking. And because everybody calls it the mayor's slush fund or the commissioner's slush fund. And the reason it's called that is because that's literally what they use it for. Anything that Dan wants to pay without having to go to get approval, or, the council says, we're not going to fund these employees. We're going to zero out their salaries. Okay. Here's the biggest problem with what he said the other day. What he's doing to Dustin is different than what he's doing with Amber and Wegley. Okay. Dustin quit working at Prairie Creek. He quit Prairie Creek. He's now going to be a contract employee for the city of Muncie. That means he gets a flat rate, whatever that rate is. It's what he gets. Dustin is responsible for his taxes. Dustin's responsible for everything. Okay, Dustin doesn't have insurance. Dustin doesn't have retirement, and all of that. All of that. Well, no, that's not true, Stumblefoot, because they can come together like Wayne County did. And there are other counties that have taken away a lot of their power from the executive body. So there are things that your local government can do, but it's something that has to be like a big decision. So that's why it takes talking to everybody. Now, there obviously are things that can be done at the state level too. I tend to think that that is a little bit more difficult than I would start with the local people and work outward rather than starting at the state and working inward. But that's just my opinion. I will tell you, I think that what Dan is trying to do and what the controller said the other day with what they're doing with Amber and Matt Wegley is really questionable, because as I was saying, Dustin is getting paid just his contract fee and that's it. What they're going to do with Wegley and Amber, now I've heard that both of those people plan to drop insurance. I don't even know that Amber had insurance, but they don't take insurance, so that's not a big deal. They still have to pay into perf and things like that. And that, I don't know if that's legal, because in order to do that, Dan's not going to be able to pay that from edit. He's going to have to pull that from edit to put that into line items. And he can't do that because those line items have been zeroed out by the council. That's what I called the State Board of Accounts for on Friday. And I'm hoping I get a call back tomorrow. If I don't hear back from them tomorrow by 9:30, and I'm not giving them long, I'm going to call back tomorrow. And I'm going to keep calling until I get a hold of somebody, because they need to know what's currently going on. And people might be like, well, wait a minute, but that's your friend Amber. Listen, this is not about Amber. Amber, I am friends with Amber, but what's right is right. And look, Dan could take care of Amber, but he's got to do it the right way. If he wants to take care of Amber, that's on him, but he's got to do it the right way. And I don't think that doing it with edit is the proper way.
The concern is that if it's done incorrectly, the city could end up being liable for whatever goes out.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if it's legal, great. But if it's not, you don't want the city getting in trouble for it. So
sure.
I mean, you're covering her ass.
Absolutely.
Because the city would come back and take it out of her pocket,
sure.
I think.
They would attempt to.
To.
Yeah.
So,
I think it would be on Dan. I mean, I think that would be something they could, which then would be a problem, because if that was me that they were doing it to, I would attempt to fight them and say, wait a minute, that's not me. That's your fault. Amber, and I mean, Wegley might have done it because he's the controller, but I don't think Amber went to him and said, hey, please pay me out of edit. I can just say that's something that the council did, or excuse me, that the mayor and the controller did. You know what I mean? So look, the way I'm looking at it is if the city gets in trouble for that, then the city tries to take that out of Wegley and Amber. Wegley and Amber should both say, no, we're going to fight you back, which could be a suit there in and of itself. So this could be all kinds of craziness. It's nuts. So yeah, I'm going to go back here real quick and see Charlize's comments. I'll be writing my council rep on this. Yes, Charlize, absolutely. And I'll be honest, I don't know what, you don't have to say if you don't want, just message me what district you're in. I can't remember. You don't got to say here, but message me privately and tell me what district you're in. But don't just write them. Write all of the council members. Write all of them. And I would write to the state house. I would write to them. I would write to your state senator. I'd write to the state representative. I would write to the council members. I would write to the Delaware County Council. I think it's all crazy what they're doing. Kind of on an aside to this, and this is not really in line with what the show is about and what Charlize asked, but it is something relating to edit and MRC. We all recalled last Monday when Andrew Dale went to the council meeting and he gave an address to council, and then Roe Selvey kind of attacked him, going after him because, and I've talked to Roe about that. She explained to me why she was upset. She did not tell me what she thought was going in across the street. I was like, dude, to my knowledge, what's going in across the street was townhomes, and I had heard that they were going to tear Concannons down and make it a parking lot. Well, I've been saying that to a number of people around town. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Charlize. At very least, if you don't want to write all of them, I would at least write. I say every citizen everywhere has 4 counselors. You have your district counselor and the 3 at-large counselors. They're all your counselors. And then beyond that, since the others vote in your city, I would send it to all of them, but at least those 4, your district and then the 3 at-large. But I have since heard, because I didn't understand, but I've been told that they are trying to put in a gas station where Concannons currently is. That a gas station is attempting to go in. And that would then cause me to believe. I have not been able to ask Roe about this since then, because I tried to reach back to Roe and be like, well, why are you so mad about a gas station? In talking to someone else did tell me why, well, they could, she could be mad for this reason, because depending on the gas station, it very well could sell alcohol. It will definitely be selling cigarettes. It will definitely be selling vape products. And someone said, if that's the reason Roe was mad, I applaud her for that. I'm not saying that. That's what the other person said. And I'm like, what? So that's crazy. I mean, look, kids are going to find a way to do what they want to do, whether there's a gas station there or not. I do think that makes that extremely more easy to do. I mean, it's not like that's a gas station desert. There's the closest gas station to that point would be Weiser and Madison. Sure couldn't be a health food store across from the Y. It makes no sense what they're doing. A gas station. Well, whoever's trying to do that is thinking about all of the people that would be going into the Y needing water and Gatorade and all of that shit. So whoever that is just trying to make a quick buck. But I've heard a couple people talk about that. I don't know how true that is. That's just a rumor. And this is the first time I'm going to say that the rumor isn't coming from people within government. The rumor is what I'm hearing is coming from people within the realty business is telling me that that's the scuttlebutt that they're hearing. So I'm hearing that from a different type of sources. I routinely get sources from government, obviously, but it's interesting when I get sources from another line altogether that are like, no, that the worry there is that a gas station is in the works. You say no roundabout at Columbus. I had never really heard a roundabout. I just thought they were always going to do a very pedestrian centric intersection there, where they were going to put like grassy strips down and it be very pedestrian friendly. But that would be interesting if they did a roundabout there. But roundabout definitely would not allow for a gas station there. I don't know, but it will be interesting to see. I don't know what they would have to do for zoning. I mean, it's already a business there, but I mean, a gas station I would think would require a little bit more. I don't know. I think that would be interesting. So, and we'll have to see. I don't know. I'll keep you posted. But I would definitely think about writing before we go. Let me show you this here. Let me show you. Oh no, I'll do it this way. This will be the best way to do it. Yes. Copy. To copy. Damn it. Hold on here. Okay, there we go. One second here, folks. I'm just trying to get all this ready for you. Three. Okay. Here's 6. There's 5. There's 3. At. Okay. And okay. There we go. Share. If you guys want to know, here is the emails for your Muncie City Councilors for District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, District 5, District 6, at large 1, 2, and 3. And so there you go. There you go. There is, and I'll tell you one more. I'll give you. Netscape. Because I can't ever tell if which one Jerry uses. There's your email addresses for your elected officials. Jeff Green, and basically it's the easiest way for you guys to know it is it's District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whichever one it is, and then at muncie.in.gov or at large 1, at large 2, at large 3, at muncie.in.gov. So that's a very easy way to do that. I'll put these in the I'll put this in the comments here really quickly before we go. You wonder what Garrett is doing now. What do you mean? What's he doing where? Doing where? He's so quiet. Yeah, man. I don't get it. Look, I'll be honest. Rose Selvey, I hear her out in the community. I hear people talking about her being out in the community. I hear people talk about Jeff Green doing things in his community. Rose, well, I mean, and it makes sense because Roe is at large. I was going to say Roe's everywhere. I hear Roe being a lot of different places, which I'm proud of Roe for doing that. Roe is living up to her role as a counselor, and as an at-large counselor. As an at-large counselor, there might be things that I disagree with her on, but I will continue to say that overall, she impresses me. She impresses me more than I thought she would, and so I can appreciate that. She has. I don't know what I don't see. The thing is, she teaches. So like during the days when a lot of people can be out there, she's obviously teaching. But I know that she has at some point. She's been involved with things out there. I don't know. I don't think anyone from the council did anything. No, I honestly don't. But Jeff Green, I know, does things in his community. I know Nora is active. Nora likes to be seen as a mover and shaker, but I'll be honest. She's been really quiet over the last several, I guess really since she's been in office. She does a lot during the meeting, but I'm not really hearing her doing the same that I heard her do when she was in office the first time. No, I know today is Sunday, but I'm talking, they did other things throughout the week as well. I know that there was someone that was out there that was like other times throughout the week. Someone went out there to see about getting the things moved or whatever, the big equipment. They've got some big tools or whatever out there. But no, I don't think that any of the city councilors were out yesterday or today. But I don't hear a lot from Brandon, which shocks me because I thought that he would be out and about in his community. I don't hear an awful lot from Sarah. Obviously she's kind of active in the meetings. Don't hear a lot from Jerry. He's retired. You figure he would be all over it. He's retired. He has no reason to not be everywhere. Dale is everywhere getting his picture taken. He's everywhere getting his picture taken. But I don't know other than that what he's doing. And Harold and Billy Mack, I don't really know what they're doing. I don't know. I think that we're in a place where we see a lot of elected officials being elected officials during the meetings, and then they leave, and they might take phone calls and they might send an email or two, but that's like to the extent of it. So that's sad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for tonight. If you got any questions, please let me know. Share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. Get the word out. I will follow up on this confusion between the groups going out and helping the homeless move or not move or whatever they did or didn't do, and the city congratulating them or thanking them. I'll see what's going on there. I will try to reach out to that guy and kind of get my own take on, how I feel about him. And I'll let you guys know. Just real quick, real briefly, I'm sure we will have her on sometime to talk about this. But just because I told you guys I would let you know as soon as I heard about it, I do want to show you. I do need to show you this just briefly. We'll talk about this more in the next couple days, or definitely when we have Catherine back on. But if you remember the show we did on Thursday, when we looked at the water, we looked at we looked at those nasty, that black looking filter. It just absolutely blew my mind. I could not get over how crazy that filter was. It was nuts. I want to show you because they did a couple of different things over the weekend, and they took pictures, they shared pictures, and they had several different people doing like tests of their water and different things. And I was like, oh my God. And the one lady said that she replaced her filter last Saturday. So they wanted to do a week test. They wanted to see what it would be like from 1 week, because the filter that she put up that was really, really bad was the filter from a month. Okay, so here's the clean one, and then here's the dirty one. Okay. I do want to show this just briefly. There's some there, and then here. Vent. Catherine, where's she at? Not gonna be able to do that. Okay, let's see if it's here. Give me 1 second. Thought I was gonna be able to do that easy. Nope. Okay. So they, over the weekend, they did a couple different people sent in pictures and such. So for those of you that maybe don't recall what I'm talking about, just to make sure that we're on the same page, this is what we looked at last week. This was the filter. It was really, really horrible. Just blows my mind. They said that was the filter of a month. This is what clean filters look like. This was a person's bathtub from Lapel. This was filling up a coffee cup. And this was filling up a washer and a Tupperware. So we've got more for you. I'll have to get the other with Catherine's on, but we'll go from there. You guys have a great night. God bless each and every one of you. Please hit the thumb on your way out and then share the show with everyone you know. We will be back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, because we either tomorrow or when Catherine's on, we will show you a video of what that filter looks like after 1 week. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to blow your mind. I was shocked just from Saturday to Saturday. All right, you guys take care. God bless. Have a good evening. Have a good start to the work week. And we will see you back here at 9 p.m. tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, right back here. Take care. God bless. Good night. Another Flint, Michigan. That's right.